Hello, shamanettes, and welcome to The Beauty Shaman. So today we are going to talk about hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a buzzword right now in the beauty industry, but it's also misused a fair amount, as is often the case when it comes to ingredients and what it can do, and sort of the magician on the corner who's going to just solve all your problems with one drop, kind of idea. So let's break this down a little bit into what it does, what you need to know in order to be an informed shopper, as I believe that all of you are very intelligent women and love to know the facts about products in order to make great decisions, and also how to use it. And I'm going to recommend some products too with different price points so you can make a decision based upon what your value system and what matters to you. All right, so before we get started, please visit my website at thebeautyshamanstore.com and sign up for my newsletter in order to be informed about updates and discounts and all kinds of fun things. And also hit the subscribe button here on YouTube in order to be alerted every time I upload a video. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so what is hyaluronic acid? Hyaluronic acid is an acid that helps to plump up your skin. So hyaluronic acid can help your skin retain water in order to plump it up 1,000 times more than that one little molecule of hyaluronic acid. So it has huge effects on your skin, on plumping up your skin. So used topically, it can actually help to minimize fine lines and wrinkles, make your skin have a more plump and lively appearance. It really is a superpower ingredient. It's kind of like vitamin C. If you've never seen any of my videos on vitamin C, I'll put one here in the corner. It is also like a superpower ingredient that you need to know about. Really makes a big difference when you use it. I like to use it in the morning, hyaluronic acid, because it instantly plumps up my skin, makes my skin look really awesome. So it's a very, very valuable ingredient. Okay, who can use it? Anyone can actually use this. It's safe for all skin types. The thing I would say is if you have extra dry skin, you're going to notice a huge difference because it really does help to retain moisture. If you live in a dry climate, however, it might be mitigated a bit just because there's not as much moisture to pull from the air, because it pulls from the air and it also pulls from moisture applied to the skin topically. Many people try to take hyaluronic acid internally. I have actually even been sent products that said if you take this internally, it'll plump up your skin. That's actually very much up for debate on whether or not hyaluronic acid taken internally has any effect at all. So I would really be suspicious of those kinds of claims. However, I think taken in the right quantities internally, it could have an effect, but definitely much more externally. I also would say if you have eczema or any skin condition, I would spot use hyaluronic acid to see the reaction that it has on your skin. Because anytime you're dealing with more sensitive skin types, like eczema or rosacea or anything like that, using any product on it needs to be taken sort of very carefully. You don't want to have it become suddenly very, very red or irritated or that sort of thing. So I would definitely look into that before you use them. All right, when do you use it? Like I said, I like it in the morning. You can also use it twice a day if you want to. Your skin does not hold hyaluronic acid. It has hyaluronic acid in it. That's why younger people their skin's more plump. But as we get older, it becomes more depleted, but our body doesn't actually make any more of it. So you have to use it every single day. It's not like the longer you use it, your skin just begins to retain it. That doesn't happen. So really, it's one of those ingredients, kind of like vitamin C, that you need to use every single day in order to see an effect to it, and just knowing that your skin doesn't hold it or build it up over the long haul. Okay, what does it do? So basically, hyaluronic acid plumps up your skin, helps to minimize fine lines and wrinkles. So what do you need to know in order to shop really well for this? Okay, so for one thing, hyaluronic acid isn't normally the ingredient used. Sometimes it is. Most of the time, it's sodium hyaluronate. Sodium hyaluronate. Hopefully I said that right. In any case, the reason why is and one of the reasons for that is that it's more stable. It's actually kind of like, it is rock salt, basically. It's rock salt in a solution. So if you have too much of it, basically your product will look like rock salt, but it's very stable. It doesn't oxidize as easily. And those are really important things when you're buying things off a shelf. You don't want them to turn brown, which is super important. And you also want them to hold up on your skin. So that's why sodium hyaluronate is used more than hyaluronic acid. However, we're just going to call it hyaluronic acid. I just wanted to clarify because when you look at ingredient decks, sometimes they will use one word in exchange for another, and that's those two words. They are exchanged for the other one. Okay, so how much hyaluronic acid should be in a product? All right, if it's anything like vitamin C serums, oftentimes there are these huge elaborate claims, or they say nothing at all. So it's really hard to know. And unless you took the product to a chemist and said, here, can you measure this and see how much is in there, you're really not going to know, which is super unfortunate about the industry. I would say, however, that you don't want really high levels. So as opposed to vitamin C, where the higher the level, as long as it's with a type of vitamin C that isn't irritating to your skin, it can actually be fine. I would say that with hyaluronic acid, you don't want that. Like I've seen different claims made, like 75% hyaluronic acid. And we're sort of programmed into thinking that the more of a good ingredient that's in something, the better. And we kind of go, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm going to see amazing results. But actually with hyaluronic acid, that's not true. It's deceptive, right? It's like taking too much of a good thing. Plus, if you have 75% or God forbid, like 99% I saw in one product packaging, you would basically be buying rock salt. That's what you would be trying to put on your face, which would not work. It would look really bad. It wouldn't, it's completely ineffective. Okay, so we don't want to buy rock salt. So really the quantities that you're looking for is 1% to 2% because mainly it's in a solution. It's in mainly water. So within the solution that you're buying, this is a hyaluronic mineral hydrator from Truth Treatments, but basically what you're purchasing is the 1% to 2% of hyaluronic acid. You don't want any more than that. And you want to use it twice a day. I think I mentioned that. So I think it's important with this particular ingredient to kind of change our perspective on it and say, okay, it's not the quantity that's important. It's the fact that it's mixed in water and that it works on your skin. Okay. I think if you get under 1%, it's not going to be as effective. So that's kind of the barometer. So just be really aware of that. If you're using some and you're not noticing a difference, sometimes it can be that the quantity is too low or too high, one or the other. And if it's too high, it's going to dry your skin out, which is sort of counterproductive because we don't want to dry our skin out. We actually want our skin to plump up. So you don't, that's why the higher ones are like, just chuck them out. Okay. So when do you use it in your skincare lineup? I get this question a lot. Like, okay, I've got all these different things that I'm using. What comes first? What comes second? So generally speaking, you want to put hyaluronic acid or any skincare on freshly washed, warm skin because then your pores are open and the product is going to more easily get underneath the top layer of your skin. And this is actually the key component to all skincare is getting it beneath into the stratum corneum. So you want it to go beneath the dermis into the stratum corneum. You want it to go down into your skin. And one of the great advances in skincare is chemistry and using chemistry for skincare. That's really hopefully happened in the last 20 years or so, where it is actually chemically compounded in order to go beneath the skin's layer. That's why we see greater and greater efficacy from many products, not just hyaluronic acid, things like, vitamin C or alpha hydroxy acids, this sort of thing. Why they're having such a greater impact is because of chemical compounding. So that's why you can't just take some hyaluronic acid, just go buy any old solution and put it on your face and not see a result. You won't see a result. It really needs to be compounded. You really need to go to a line that uses a compounding pharmacist in order to have it be more effective. This is very interesting because I've often purchased, just for curiosity's sake, different products. For example, I bought a vitamin C that said, 35% vitamin C, which is actually fairly high on the vitamin C scale, and squalene, which is olive oil. And I thought, I wonder what that feels like. I wonder if that's actually formulated to get beneath your skin. So I tried it. And of course, it just sits on the surface of your skin because olive oil within itself, squalene within itself, doesn't soak into your skin. It just sort of sits on the surface and you sort of look oily, which oiliness doesn't mean hydration. Those are two completely separate things. Okay, on to the order. So really, I would use a good cleanser to clean your skin, and then I would use all of your treatment products. So for example, your vitamin C, I keep mentioning vitamin C, but that's because so many people use it in conjunction with hyaluronic acid. Say a vitamin C, say a hyaluronic acid, maybe you're using an AHA, whatever it is, whatever skin treatments, retinol, almost forgot about the all-important retinol. I'll put a video here in the corner for you to watch about retinol. Retinol is super important. These are some of the key ingredients that really help your skin. In any case, I would use them. It doesn't matter what order necessarily you use those in particular, okay? You need to clean your face, then use your treatments, and then put your moisturizer. And if you're going to be outside in the sun for very long, I would use a sunblock. If you're not, you don't have to use it. I certainly don't if I'm just going to be inside all day. Having said that, I think one of the things you can do is to take it and just blend all of your treatments together and put them on. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it's better to use them separately, especially if they're different brands. They're not really meant to go together necessarily when you blend them. So it just depends. But that does help it be a little bit more easy, rather than, okay, let me go one after another, just blend them all on your palm and put them on your skin. That's what you're doing anyway. It doesn't really matter. And I would say use hyaluronic acid. You can use it twice a day. I particularly like to use it once a day. And the reason for that is in the morning, I want to look really great. So I'll put it on my skin. It immediately plumps up. It's an immediate reaction. It's great. I go through my day. And then at night, I wash my face, put my other treatments on my skin and go to bed. That's just what I do. But you do you. You do what makes sense for you. Definitely helps to not use the product up so quickly. And since your skin doesn't hold it, you have to continually reapply. So it's one of those products that you have to sort of rebuy. Sorry, but that's the truth. All right, so what products would I say to recommend? So I think if you're going to start at a lower end that still works, I would say use The Ordinary. So I'm kind of a fan of some of The Ordinary's products, not all of them. They tend to go very inexpensive, which is actually great. I'd love that. But sometimes The Ordinary can use ingredients that are more abrasive on your skin because they are the cheaper ingredients. Okay, that's just kind of a side note there. I'm not going to talk any more badly about the product, but I do think it's important to be educated on what ingredients cheaper lines are using and how they can kind of get away with that. But I would say The Ordinary, when it comes to hyaluronic acid, they have a 2% plus some vitamin B in there, which is also really wonderful for efficacy and hydration. So that, and it's not very expensive. I actually think it depends on where you shop for it. I want to say it's under $20 for a bottle. I think it's 30 mils, but it does work. And I think if you're just getting started with hyaluronic acid, it's a great one to go ahead and use. The other brand I would say is Truth Treatment Skincare. I've been holding up this bottle a lot. So Truth Treatment's Hyaluronic Mineral Hydrator is wonderful because it contains vitamin C and polyelectrolytes, which I love. And these are all really helpful. It's more bang for buck, right? Because you're getting, 3 things in one. So I think that can be really helpful. It is a little bit more pricey. Can't remember how much. I want to say it's like $50. I've seen hyaluronic acid sold for as much as $130. I'd love to know what's in those products, but in any case, I think do your homework, look at the ingredients. Again, a smaller ingredient deck is better than a big ingredient deck, and you want to see the important ingredients towards the top of the deck. The further down they are, the less it is. Now, again, hyaluronic acid, you don't want to have a huge amount in there. You want 1 or 2%. So it's okay if that shows up a little bit further down. Things like vitamin C, you want it much more towards the top because the more you get in there, especially the better types of vitamin C, the better it is. I am a big fan of aging. As you know, if you watch my channel, I'm very, very pro aging. I want you to look in the mirror. I want you to love aging. I want you to love yourself no matter what you look like. Do not buy into this weird, terrible idea of beauty that we have in the Western world where if you age, it's bad. I think that's wrong. I think if you age, it's good. You are wise. You are full of all sorts of wonderful experiences to share with those around you. Having said that, I want to look my best, as I'm sure you do too, or you wouldn't be watching the video. So I would say toss a little hyaluronic acid into your skincare regime and you will not be disappointed. I hope this has been helpful. Please write down below. I always love hearing from you. And thank you so much for watching The Beauty Shaman.